So over here next to the greenhouse, I made the raised beds slightly higher. I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the top with compost or manure, but it will stop bark chippings being kicked everywhere because I'm going to use those to mulch. But what I've done is, you can see these blue arches. These poles were from a trampoline. I think it was from the safety surround bit, and I've hit them into the ground and then fed the thick blue pipe into it. I don't have another thick blue pipe for that middle one, but I've got a slightly thinner one and I've got a grey one. But what I'm trying to do is make a brassica cage that I can walk into for tall brassicas. So that's as far as I've got today. I've run out of time now. But I did weed the beds. So next time I come down, I want to put another hoop over there. And then I've probably got to maybe use some wood to strengthen both ends and make a doorway. But that should be plenty high enough for any tall brassicas. So on the brassica cage, I've screwed some uprights to the decking, front and back, put a cross beam across the top. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have another thick blue pipe, so I've got a thinner, weaker grey pipe, but it's better than nothing, and it goes up and over the top. So if I come back this way, you can see that top beam supports it. So I'll have to see if I've got enough scaffold netting. If not, I'll have to purchase maybe some of that butterfly netting that one can get. But I'm happy with my progress today. Okay, next job. The plastic along there, I'm fed up with. It's what the paving slabs are resting on, but I don't like the overlap. So I'm going to trim it so it looks neater. But yeah, look, it just needs a little bit cut off the edge, then it will look a lot smarter. Well, that's what I cut off, and if we look now, that looks a lot neater. Happy with how that looks. Okay, so I've been sweeping and weeding and kind of scooping up bits of mud that got onto the edge of the paths. I haven't done all the side little paths, but I've done the majority of this big long one. So this is from the tayberries to the shed. I haven't worked on this. You can see there's mud, leaves, all sorts. But if I turn around, this is what the rest of the path looks like. A lot neater. All the self-seeded nasturtium seeds have been swept up. Okay, there's still seeds in the beds. I'll have to weed those out next year. But this path is looking a lot better. The patio's looking clean. I've swept there and tried to fill in any little holes. I've used an old compost bag to block out light for that end bit and put a few stones there. So I'm happy with my progress. Well, it's 2:15. It's grey. It's threatened to rain. It's not going to get any brighter. It will probably only get darker. So I think I've done enough for today. I'm going to go home now. Thanks for watching, bye for now. Morning, so today I'm in my back garden. Sorry about the noises, building work. I'm going to be digging out along by the greenhouse, down to the level of the base, leaving a small gap so that there's nothing touching the glass, putting some breeze blocks along, and then backfilling. So basically it'll hold the soil back, but if I need to stand on it to fix any panes on the roof, it will still be able to take my weight. So that's my plan. So this is the before shot. So I've got to take the plastic up, dig it out, remove these poles. Looking over there, that tells me foxes have been pushing through again. I think I'm going to have to screw that in. So I noticed a couple of days ago that one of the garlics and a couple of the onions had been dug up and nibbled. So that must have been, I don't know, either a squirrel or some sort of rodent. Thankfully, the rest of them seem to be alright, so I think they've realised that no, it doesn't taste good, and they're leaving it alone now. And hopefully they'll all be able to grow without getting dug up and chewed up. So I ended up not digging deep, but just clearing out all the plastic and bits of wood. And then these, they're not slabs. These blocks are right up against the actual blocks that the greenhouse is built upon. So it's resting on the solid earth and right up against the other breeze blocks. So I think this should work. I need to go and get some more because it's not to the end of the greenhouse yet. So here's my progress. Not quite how I wanted it to go, but it will do. So the first line of blocks I put horizontally, but I didn't have enough blocks, and with the slope up of this garden I needed to put the second blocks on edge, and I'm going to backfill. I didn't have enough blocks, so I'm using an old dog crate, upside down strong plastic box. The metal bit of the dog crate stops the soil going into the greenhouse. I've used old dog crates before as gabions, so I know they work. So I'm going to backfill. Some of this bumpiness and slope is going to be moved across over to here to level it more out. And then eventually I think I'll put a line of paving slabs which are resting partially on that top block, on those top blocks, along in front of the greenhouse so that when I need to access the roof I can. So I've pulled back the plastic to up there. Now I've got the fun of trying to level this off more. I'm not going to be able to get it totally level, but just relatively level, because there's a lump there, there's a dip there, there's another lump there, there's another lump there. So if I can get it kind of sort of level, just on a gradual slope, that'll do. So I had some bits of rubble in another part of this end of the garden, so I've stacked them up in here, especially close to the greenhouse, and that should help with some support. And then now I've got a backfill. So this next bit is the hard bit. Shifting soil, raking, flattening it. anybody think we were at the seaside? We're not.